Chapter 9 is titled Developing Interactive Meetings. Most agencies hold public comment meetings because it's all they know, but as previously discussed in the uh, chapters, the 2 minute public hearing ends up being a series of 2 minute speeches with no discussions from the public or no discussion between the decision makers and the public. In a way, these public hearings end up not having the two-way communication effect, which is what you really need in public participation processes. The public hearing format, in a way, is attractive if there is contestation from the public, people because people can hear each other's position as compared, for example, to an open house. However, the leaders of groups tend to provide more radical views that can increase polarization and division in a community because community leaders oftentimes must be seen as strong defenders of their group positions, leading them to take more extreme positions that they would if you were talking to them in private or in small groups. Oftentimes, people with different positions might not come in front when there's like these types of organized groups, but they might feel better talking and expressing themselves if you had small group discussions. Um, but ideally, you will want to have small group discussions if the topic is a very hot issue. For example, the site planning for the homeless resource center, as we have previously discussed in lectures. As previously noted, public hearings are often required and they are procedural. You have a person that records everything and makes it public information, put it in an archive that could be accessed for years to come. Usually, public hearings are done to wrap up a process. So, that is making the final decision on something that already has been um, discussed in previous opportunities to engage the public. For example, in a site development application, a staff member already received letters and emails from a developer. The developer already went to community councils or they held an open house. The report then presented in the public hearing already has a summary of all the comments that were received on the site development application, and thus, presumably, no new information is presented at the public hearing. They are just final comments for the public record, but that might, the comments, new comments that are received might not affect the outcome of the decision at hand. In a master plan, which is a more engaged process, the public hearing is among the final steps after months and months of many public meetings and interactions with the public, including surveys or focus groups, open houses, workshops. So, again, this might be conversations that are summarized over a year and a half. In the meantime, decision makers, meaning the city council, the planning commission, and key advisory boards, and the mayor, are briefed in what the process of community engagement has been, what has come out of that, but also all the studies that the DEFTAS has made, all the analyses from surveys or from interviews and focus groups and other kinds of engagement. At the end of the master plan, you have these like hearings that basically are for the final decisions to be made and the plan to be adopted. So the public hearing is like the final step. And this final step, in a way, has many um, ladders to climb. So it might move from the advisory board, public hearing, to one of the planning commission, to one in city council, to at the end the mayor signs off this master plan. So it gets approvals up and up this ladder and is adopted by the city. because you had community participation in earlier stages of the process for, let's say, a year and a half, you will be or it will be unlikely that you will have lots of problems at these later steps in the public hearing. So if there's like tons of people that come in opposition to your public hearing, it's probably because you didn't offer enough opportunities for the public to engage and give feedback in this like later part of the decision making